Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing good today. Today I'm joined by a very special guest. I'm joined by Des, and today we're going to sort of chat a bit about the season and look forward to our last game of the season, Southampton coming up. But it's great to have you on, Des. As we were saying, it's our first time, properly chatting and doing a video, so it's great to have you on. But first of all, how are you doing today?
It's great to be here, and I'm doing absolutely fine. Thank you, Soph. I'm having a really good day. The weather's really nice, and I'm looking forward to this. So let's crack on.
Yeah, me too. It's that the weather's been amazing. And it's absolutely lovely, and yeah, I mean, this season has been a roller coaster. Last season, I was so proud of the team for getting so far, and it was quite hard. We were only a few points away, and this season we have been a big distance away from the football, but we did get to a semi-final, which I didn't think we would actually do. I thought we might get to a quarter-final of the Champions League, but with the injuries, with the summer window, all of that, how do you reflect on the season? Do you think that we've done the best with the circumstances? Do you feel like we should have done more, like bring in more players? Like, how do you look back on the season now?
Well, there's pluses and minuses, ups and downs. As you say, it's been a roller coaster. Um, Regarding the team, to be honest with you, the injuries, it's not the only part. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
it's not the only part, but the injuries has been a big factor. I mean, we've had 27 injuries this season, and we
yeah,
haven't even seen Tomiyasu as an example for the whole of the season. And I don't know when we're going to see him again, to be quite honest with you. Um, no, reaching the semi-final was a great thing. It's a shame we couldn't have got to the final and won it. I must admit, I thought if we could beat Real Madrid, we could beat anybody. That was my
yeah,
thought. That was my thoughts on that. Let's put it that way. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, everybody wants to blame Arteta, but it's a team. It's a team sport. Yeah. Uh, Odegaard hasn't had the season that he's had for the last couple of seasons. He's had a major injury. I still don't think he's fully fit. I think there's something wrong there. I really, really do. Having Saka out for 3 months, having Havertz out for 3 months, big differences. And you've got to say respect to Mourinho for stepping up and
yeah.
doing what he did. Don't get me wrong. I always want to win stuff. I always want Arsenal to win something. Yeah. And the Champions League would have been the icing on the cake. But we still are in Champions League, or we still got to beat Southampton, but it's looking pretty good. The only real threat we've got is Man City, and they've got to score loads and loads of goals.
Yeah,
So yeah, you've got to take the positives from the negatives, because if you dwell on the
yeah,
negatives too much, that's where the hatred comes from. You know what I mean? And I think we haven't had a bad season. The biggest mistake we made, Soph, and you may agree, and I think you're going to, is not getting a striker in January. That is actually, to be honest, that is unforgivable. Because we had the opportunities to. We could have got Sesko in January if we wanted to. Yeah,
yeah,
as an example, right? There was other strikers out there as well. And look, we've got this £300 million war chest for the summer, and we're going to sell players as well. So there's a bit more. Plus we've got 99.12 million for getting into the semi-final of the Champions League. Yeah. So we're going to have money,
yeah.
but let's go out there and spend it. And also, Berta seems to want to get things done quickly. He's not it doesn't seem like he's hanging about, does it?
Yeah, it's good to have someone like that though that isn't going to mess about, because
Yeah,
we
I
need
agree.
someone like that. That's I think as well. I think we have to be ruthless, especially this summer. I mean, we know some players are leaving, and I think we're all fine with that because they do need to move on. But I think the striker situation has been a big problem. And I was watching a video from we won the FA Cup for Arteta, and you think about the team then defensively. We had some really poor players, but we had a striker that could take the chances, and that is what will really win you stuff. And I do think fans are frustrated now, and I do get it because as you said, we're Arsenal fans. We want to win silverware. We want to win trophies, and it has been a frustrating sort of few seasons with that. But at the same time, I think the last 2 seasons, I think we've all enjoyed the football. I think we've played some amazing football. This season has been obviously very different. But yeah, it's a tough one as well. I think the summer's going to be really big. I mean, if we don't bring in a striker, then I think that's up to Arteta. We know as fans we need a striker, and I think if he doesn't decide to bring one in, then I do think he probably has himself to blame. But I think Berta, he's going to really change things. And for this summer, do you think, obviously I expect us to bring in a few players, but what positions do you think that Arteta might strengthen? Because we sort of know where we would.
Oh, see, I have with my guys, I have this debate quite a lot, and we're actually doing a series at the moment, which is buy, sell, and basically who would you bring in? And you're given, so what the breakdown of it is, you're given the 400 odd million regarding the players that you would sell as well that I mentioned before, and how much you would spend and how much you would bring in. Yeah, and we're all saying the same positions. But I will expand on it. We need backup for Saka to begin with. Yeah, we need someone to back up either Martinelli or Trossard.
Yeah.
Big up to the lads. Hello,
Yeah,
boys. Trossard. Obviously, we've Zubamendi's 99% done, so we've got Zubamendi coming in the midfield. Yeah. Every position on the pitch could do with somebody, if I'm absolutely honest with you. But we have to be realistic, don't we?
yeah,
Like we need a number 2 goalkeeper that isn't Neto, as an example. You know.
yeah.
We need backup for. I would say we need a couple in midfield, and maybe we don't need any more left backs. So I will say that.
Yeah, I'm tired of that side of
Yeah. I don't think we need any more left backs. But I could be wrong. But that's just my opinions on it. So yeah, we need cover for Saka. We need a striker, most definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or someone who can either play along Havertz or just play along with Martinelli or whoever's covered for Martinelli and Saka. Because we don't play the 4-4-2 anymore. So, the 4-4-2 has become obsolete, I think, now. We definitely need. See, is Zubamendi covering Odegaard or is he covering Declan Rice? Which would you go with?
That's the thing, because I think it's tough for Odegaard as well next season, because I think he has gone better. I think as these last few games, I think you've sort of seen a glimpse of what Odegaard has been like. But I think if he is going to be poor next season, I do think you've got to take him out and maybe rest him. I just honestly.
Any players not above that, are they? They're not. I mean, you could even take Starboy off. If he needs to come off, he needs to come off. I totally agree with you. Totally agree.
I think it's hard as well because he's the captain. It's hard because obviously the captain probably should play, but there are other captains in the team that aren't our captain. I mean, we've got so many leaders around the team, so I think next season, I think Odegaard, I do hope he can just have a good summer. He can just rest, get ready, for the pre-season and the season coming up. But I think it's going to be a big season for Odegaard because I do think he probably might have a little injury. I'm not too sure. I mean, under himself, he'll know that his performances haven't been great at all. Exactly. But yeah, I do think I think Arteta next season's got to be ruthless. If some players aren't continually to play well, I think he's got to have. I think we need other options, as you said. I mean, Trossard and Martinelli, they're interesting because I do think Trossard could be leaving maybe this summer, or if not this summer, next summer. I like Trossard, but I think we just need someone else now as well. I mean, Martinelli. It's same Martinelli. I think he is good, but I think his end product at times, is a struggle. But saying that, he did score in the Champions League game, and it's great that he got that goal. But I think we just need to see him do that a lot more, really.
We do need something different, because that's what I felt for the last maybe 5 or 6 games, we did sort of like become one dimensional a bit, you know. And
Yeah.
like I was saying it to my guys at the weekend. We were known as set piece FC at the beginning of the season. We haven't scored a set piece for I don't know how long now. You
Yeah,
know,
it's been
you know.
ages.
Well, since Real Madrid with Declan Rice with his 2 free kicks, but I mean in the Premier League, we haven't scored from a set piece for ages. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like we need players. We also need players in that excite the fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Zubamendi excites me. So if he comes in, that excites me. Nico
Yeah.
Williams, I'm not so hot on him because um, I think his wages will be too high. I really do. But that's minuscule problem, really. If we get Jokeres, I'll be excited. If we got Sesko, I'd be excited,
Yeah.
to be honest. Um, but as I say, we my guys on the channel that I'm on, they're so fed up with us doing our business in the final week of the transfer window.
Yeah.
If we got a couple of players in the first week in June, that tells us how serious Arsenal are going to be next season. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think we need to do that, you know. And I tell you what I think's been wrong with the fan base this season. And I'm going to say it, and I think it's absolute honesty. They're so focused on Arteta, yeah, and Arteta out or Arteta in or whatever the case may be, right? That they
Yeah.
they're not enjoying the football. Yeah, they're too focused on what he's doing and what mistakes he's making or what good he's doing that they're not enjoying the football. Because I do watch-alongs for all the matches.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got one on tonight. Yeah, and it's the hate along for the Europa League.
That's going to be hell for
yeah,
us.
yeah.
That's
Do you know what I mean? But it's just I watch it week in, week out. Yeah, like you
yeah.
do as well. I know. But I watch it week in, week out, and I just think, what are you moaning about? You know, and the other problem with our fan base is they want everything yesterday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've got no patience. You've got to be patient. I mean, I'm an old man now, so I can be patient. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But it's going to be. I think it's if like what we've said, and it can only be ifs because we don't know until it comes, right?
Yeah.
If we act quick, yeah, and we really get the players Berta wants to get and Arteta want to get, we are going to have a serious title challenge next season.
Yeah.
That's my belief.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, I think, like you said, if we left it to the last week, it kind of for me, I don't get as excited as much because it just doesn't feel like we're prepared really going into the next season. So I think it would be nice for us to start off, like you said, go for it, bring in some players. I don't really know. We said it's so hard to know, what we're going to do. There's options out there that we'll speak about and we've spoken about, and there's always options to bring in strikers. There's always options there. I know years ago there'd be a lot more options, but there is players that we could go for, and I think this is probably maybe one of our biggest summers. I mean, I always say that every summer is always important, but I think if we do the right things this summer, like the season that's just gone, I personally felt like we needed to bring someone in January because we didn't buy anyone in the summer. So if we bring in the right players, we might not need to bring anyone in January if we're okay. But yeah, I think next season is going to be massive. I just wanted to read out this.
Oh yeah. I was going to
Rodrigo,
mention it as well.
yeah, Rodrigo is a game changer. This is what we need as well as two DMs. If Partey leaves, one winger and a striker. If Kivior leaves, and two defensive players. There's a lot of there is a lot of improvements. I mean, I think it is going to be a big summer. I mean, if Partey leaves as well, we need to bring in the right players. I do think Kivior will stay this summer.
I think he's proved himself so
Yeah, I
since
like it.
he's had to step in for Gabriel. The lads, if they're not offering him another contract, I don't know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? Because I think
Yeah,
the lad has earned his stripes. And I agree with Paul, in the North Bank. Rodrigo
yeah,
is a game changer, and I would get very excited if he came. Very
yeah,
excited indeed. Yeah. So yeah, totally
yeah.
agree.
It'd be nice. I mean, when Declan Rice came, we need sort of a player at sort of like that that's that good that can really excite us fans, because I think we need it. I think going into next season, this season just, it's like we said, it's been a roller coaster and it's been a difficult one. So I think we need something to look forward to going into season. But yeah, I do think we've got to have a big summer, and even the second choice goalkeeper, because if we had a big game and Ryan was injured, I wouldn't feel comfortable with who we have right now, up. And these injuries do happen in football. So I definitely think we need to strengthen big time in the summer. But obviously, we have our last game of the season coming up,
Mhm.
against Southampton. We obviously have got Champions League football for next season, which I'm happy about. But how do you feel about this game? Because for me, obviously, I'm excited to see Arsenal play, but at the same time, the season has been over for a little while now, and the excitement for me in the league has sort of worn off a little bit.
I think it has for a lot of people, but
Yeah,
because we're YouTubers, so we try and keep it at a level, don't we? Do you know what I mean? Because we're
yeah,
trying to please a lot of people,
yeah,
and it's all about your energy, isn't it, and everything like that. But I just see it this way: for this season, which wasn't the best season, it's job done. I know it sounds cocky, but it should be a nailed on 3 points.
yeah. It should
Um,
really.
it should be, because, and the reason I say that as well, not to sound too cocky, is because Southampton have got nothing to play for. So there's a different mentality, isn't there? So
Yeah,
I'm hoping that it will be a nailed on 3 points, and then we're not having these scary couple of weeks. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, so I just feel that we need to go out with a bang as well, to sort of like get us to the break and keep us on a positive going into the next season.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think with Southampton, I think as you said, because they're going down anyway. I think, like you said, they don't have much to play for, and I think for us, I mean, I know second isn't first, and we're not going to win a trophy in the league, but it would be better for us to finish as best as we can, and for the season. And yeah, I think that's all we can do. It's not the biggest game coming up, but I think it'd be nice to sort of see the players, one last time this season, and they'll know next season I want to push on and win stuff, because we've got such a great squad, and I know these players really do deserve it. So I think for us, it's going to be exciting to see how we do perform. And yeah, Southampton haven't had the best season, so I do hope, it would be nice to get quite a comfortable win and not having to, stress or anything. But with Arsenal, you just never know. But yeah, what would you say your lineup would be for this game? Because I know Timbers had an injury. I think Saliba
he's
might be
he's
injured. So
he's got an ankle problem, hasn't he? He's got
yeah,
an operation on his ankle, isn't he? So Ben White, Saliba, Kivior, but then Saliba came off last game. So does
mm.
anybody know if he was hurt or anything?
I don't know what the latest is actually on Saliba.
Well, let's just say he's fit.
Yeah,
If he's fit, Saliba, Kivior, Skelly, midfield of Rice, Partey, and it could be Partey's last game. Rice,
yeah,
Partey, and Odegaard. Then up front, I'm going to be a little bit controversial. I would like to go Saka on the right, Martinelli in the middle,
yeah,
and Trossard on the left. Because when we did that, it made a difference. You know what I mean? So it's I think Martinelli's pretty good in the middle.
yeah, yeah,
Because I think on the left, and I think this does let him down. I love the kid, and he's lightning in a bottle, but he always takes that one extra move, or one extra defender
yeah,
when he could cross the ball a lot sooner.
yeah,
So yeah, that's my lineup. So yeah, Ben White, Saliba, Kivior, uh, Lewis Skelly,
yeah.
Odegaard, Partey, Rice, and then the three up front: Saka, Martinelli, and Trossard. And then if Havertz needs to come on later on, he can do.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'd go for that as well. I mean, I like Martinelli up top, and we know Marino obviously works well, and he's, I should have mentioned before Marino, he's done such a great job there, and taking over from Havertz. And I still think we'll get to see that of him next season as well. But I think Martinelli, I'm with you. I think sometimes he does take the odd too many touches or does too many things. But I think it'd be good to see him play that in that position a bit more, because I know at times we've sort of seen him and Trossard. One of them will play on the left, but I think it's nice to see them all play. I think with Trossard, I like him a lot. I think sometimes he's more better off the bench for some reason. He brings a bit more energy, but I think for this game, I think we should be able to get the job done. A good point actually from here. Southampton have joint lowest points total. They won't that won that record. So I think this is a tricky game. Arsenal already have second. Ramsdale will be up for it. I do sort of wonder how Ramsdale will be. I mean, it's his time Arsenal's been and gone. And I think, I don't think he's got any problems with us, any, like, not with us, but with sort of Arsenal. So how do you sort of expect Ramsdale to be? Because I'll always love Ramsdale, and I always hate playing up against him.
I must admit, I've got a lot of respect for Ramsdale.
Yeah,
I was surprised to see him go, to be honest, as quick as he did.
yeah,
Yeah, he'll be up for it, but I just don't think the men in front of him are good enough. And
yeah,
that's the problem for Southampton. Ramsdale could, you know, but his defence is bad, his midfield is bad. But then, as Paul said, it could be a tricky game because they've got the same points as Derby at what Derby scored, haven't they? So
yeah.
it could be a tricky game. But this is Arsenal Football Club. We should be beating teams like Southampton, you know. So
Yeah, you expect us to really do that, but I do think it will be a difficult game because those records, I mean, are important. I mean, I know they've gone down, and they ultimately they came into the league wanting to stay up, but I think those records mean a lot. I mean, but yeah, I think he's a very good goalkeeper, and I do think he could be at a team that is a bit better. I think, with Arsenal, I think he was very good at Arsenal. And with Ryan now, I do feel like Raya is an upgrade. I think they're both very good, but I think with Ramsdale, I think it also helps having a good defence in front of you. I think if you've got a bad defence, it is very difficult on a goalkeeper. Um, is Marino back? I will be interested to see. I think he should be back for this game. I know the last game I think he was suspended. But yeah, I don't actually know if Arteta would start him for this game as well. And I don't obviously expect Havertz to start either. Havertz will probably get some minutes off the bench, but
I mean, he could start with Mourinho, he could, but
yeah,
I would actually go with Martinelli in the middle.
yeah, I agree. I think Martinelli is really doing well in that position, and I think it would be these are sort of games you would want to sort of try it for, because we know that we're going to get Champions League football. So I think, yeah. What is your score prediction for the game as well?
Sorry, Mark. I thought you were Paul. I apologise. I've just got to apologise, so because I thought he was somebody else. My prediction. Oh, let's see. 3-0.
Yeah, I'd take that. I'd be happy with that.
3-0 Arsenal. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think we can get a comfortable one. I'm gonna go 3-1. I just for some reason I see them scoring, but
Thing is, if Raya keeps a clean sheet, he definitely gets the Golden Glove. So that's
yeah,
why.
you'll
That's why
want
I'm
that.
going. Yeah, that's why I'm going for the
Yeah,
3.
I do really. It would be nice, for him as well to get a clean sheet. I think for me, I think obviously I don't know about Saliba, and obviously I'm gutted Timber's injured. I mean Ben White, I think he's come back from a big injury, and I think it's going to take him a bit of time again to
Well,
adjust.
I think he started to show how he used to be in the last
Yeah,
couple of games. To be honest, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I mean, it must be hard as well. You've not played for ages, and you're jumping straight back in as well. But I think it is so interesting because next season as well, it will be interesting to sort of see who will be in that position. Because I loved Timber when Ben White came. I think he really proved himself. I know he had a lot of criticism, but I love Ben White. I think it's a bit of a headache for Arteta, but at the same time, one of them could pick up an injury because they both sort of had injuries this season. But yeah, as you said with Ben White, it's great to sort of see, like you said, what he was sort of like when he first came. We're getting to see that again. And
I'm,
that's
I'm a Timber fan as well, by the way. I think Timber's so strong, so strong.
Yeah,
He's he's getting there, you know. And it's just a shame he's getting these injuries, and it shows how strong he is as well. So because
yeah,
he was out for a whole season, came back and just hit the ground running, didn't he? You know?
yeah. It has been impressive because I never really expected Timber to be this good after his ACL. Because obviously, with the women's team, I watched them have so many injuries, and some of the players just wouldn't be how they used to be. It took them a lot of time, so I sort of expected Timber to take a bit of time, and I thought he might have a few niggles throughout the season, but he's played so many games, and I kind of understand now why he's picked up an injury because he's had to play so much football. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a headache next season for Arteta to sort of really pick that player. But I think it's good. We've got options now. Obviously, we mentioned for the left back, we've got options there. Califury as well. I think he's been someone that I don't know. I think some fans aren't too keen on him. Some fans really like him. I personally really like him, but
Well, he
I,
likes to go forward. Have you noticed all our back
yeah,
four now? They've got no problem going forward, have they?
I love that though.
Yeah,
I love sort of defenders that love to attack as well because I think it makes it's exciting to watch that. And I think as well with some of these players that we have, they're so young and they're learning. And for some of these players, it's their first season at Arsenal, so I think we do have to be quite fair with that as well. But
yeah.
it'd be just nice to, as we said, end the season as best as we can. And yeah, I just really hope next season that we're gonna win something. Even I'd be happy if an FA Cup. I'm not gonna lie, I do love an FA Cup. But yeah, I do. I would love us to win silverware.
I'd take all four if I could. I'd take all four.
Yeah,
So, you know, go
I
for the
do.
quad.
I do think next season, though, I think if we don't win anything, I do maybe think Arteta might. I don't think he would ever walk out. I don't think the Cronkays would tell him, sack him. I just don't think they would ever do that. But I think next season is going to be a big season for Arteta because I think, as we said, I think fans are losing their patience. I mean, me personally, I think if we end the next season without a trophy, I'd be very surprised because I expect us to have a big summer, really.
I do think a lot of fans are giving him one more year, and then
Mm.
yeah, they'll be on his back. Um, but if anyone can do it, he can.
Yeah.
So you
How do
just
you
got.
feel about Arteta? Would you want to see him have more time?
Well,
Or
I, I would like to see him have more time, and also let's be honest, everybody's shouting for Simeone, shouting for this manager, that manager. Who's going to come in?
yeah, there's not really a lot of options right now, anyway.
No, no,
Yeah,
no. So no, he should give. To be honest, I'm not. I'm not going to get on his back unless something really, really major happens. To be quite honest with you,
yeah,
but I can understand why people are also saying, right, you've got one more year. I see both sides of the story.
yeah, yeah. It's a difficult one, really, because I think this season. I mean, with the Champions League, I think we did really well. And I was like you, I thought I didn't expect us to beat Madrid because I think they're just amazing and they've got great players. But when we beat them both on both legs, I really thought we would beat PSG. But I think if we had a striker, we would have definitely won that. But I think looking back next season, if we are able to get a striker in, I think we're going to definitely improve. And I do want Arteta to do well. He's taken us quite far, and for me, he's almost there. And that's what's so frustrating is that
Yeah,
if you do sack him, I would always feel like, what if, because he's so close to achieving it. But at the same time, I'm with you. It's like it's very difficult because I think if we go through next season and nothing, like I said, if something really bad happens, or I think it's very tough with the league missing out from it because I think obviously last season I think the football in the league I think was a lot better. I mean, to get those points, I think we had 89 points last season. Man City just got 2 points ahead of us, and I think if we're able to get the season or next season, I definitely think we could do it. But we need a striker. Do you want to read this one out? We all
yeah,
win
go on,
a
go on.
double. I would love a double in case you get the finger out. Yeah, they do need to. But I do agree with that. I also think Arteta needs to bring in. I think the striker has to be number one if he gets the money. But it comes from the board. I think fans might want Arteta out, but I always think the Kroenkes are the more responsible out of all of them. But I do think they've got to invest big time this summer because we need to win stuff next season. And yeah, I just really hope, as we said, have a big summer. It would be amazing if we could do that. But before we do round the show up, do you want to tell people where they can find you? I know you sort of chat about Arsenal as well.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. I'm involved with a channel on YouTube called In the North Bank, guys. We're a small channel. We haven't even hit 1,000 subs yet, but we're doing our best. We're trying to put content out 3 or 4 times a week. We've got a watch along tonight. Well, hate along, but I usually do a watch along for the matches. We've got another show called The Big Sunday Show, which is basically a panel of Arsenal fans talking about Arsenal and what happened that week, whether it's games, whatever. Yeah, and we love Arsenal like you do, Soph. We love
Yeah.
Arsenal, and yeah. So if you want to come over tonight and see what we're all about, it's In the North Bank. It's scheduled on YouTube. Give it a look, and if you could give us a sub, that would be absolutely brilliant. I appreciate it. And so, thanks very much for having me on your show. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I wish you all the best going forward as well.
Oh, you're very kind. It's been great to have you on. And yeah, please do go over to subscribe. I will put the channel as well in the video. But yeah, it's been great to have you on today. Hopefully we'll end the season on a positive note. It would be great, wouldn't it, to get a 3-0 win?
It
Um
would,
yeah,
yeah.
I think we need that. We need to just have a good, comfortable win ending the season on a high. And as we said, hopefully next season as well it will be our time. I mean, if we won the double, I'd be very happy. That'd be a great season. But thank you all as well to those that have watched this and commented. I hope you'll have enjoyed the show, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.